That was our Vlasic Instant Classic from St. Louis, and look at what we have here. Our State Farm men's doubles gold medal match is a rematch of our men's doubles gold medal match in St. Louis. In St. Louis, it was CJ Klinger and Andre Mick playing in their very first tournament together and winning their very first gold. Here in Philadelphia, it's Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery who have worked their way through the winner's bracket to play again for a shot at the gold. What do you guys like about this matchup, Doc?
Well, this is a rubber match between the two teams. In St. Louis, CJ Klinger, Andre Mick came out on top, took the gold medal. Here in the winner bracket final, Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery beat Mick and Klinger to knock them down. Then Mick and Klinger had to go through Ryler DeHart and Richard Livernies, and that was a tight one, 11-9, 10-12, 11-9 to earn the right back here. I'm expecting a very tight match here. I would not be surprised if we go to the game to 15 here.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and right now these teams against each other are 2-2. Okay, so Mick and Klinger beat Nunnery and Daescu 11-3, 11-3 early on in St. Louis. Then Nunnery and Daescu fought their way back through the back draw. They beat them in the first 2 out of 3 to 11, and then Klinger and Mick needed that game to 15 to take down Nunnery and Daescu for the second time. The difference that they did there is when they played with aggression, that controlled aggression, the power, putting that pressure on Nunnery and Daescu, that's when they came out on top. If they allow Nunnery and Daescu to control the tempo, then they're going to be in trouble. And already starting to put a little bit of pressure on here with a good ball going behind Daescu.
So it's a quick side out. CJ Klinger, 17-year-old, with the serve.
Good spot right there from Daescu down the middle, and they're going to have to get the ball down. Both Andre Mick and CJ Klinger like pace, and if you get it too, like right there.
There it is right there.
Right. You have to get it away from them and down at the feet.
One of the things that I'm excited about, and I've noticed it the last few times we've seen these two teams play together, is not just the firefights like that, but Rob Nunnery and Andre Mick, both of them characters on the court, and they leave no secret to how they're feeling. They're not afraid to chirp at each other. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of that.
Oh, he missed the sitter. It was almost too easy for Mick right there. Set it up well with the quick flick inside in.
So it's 1-1-1 for Rob Nunnery's serve. Nunnery and Daescu just went from enemies to teammates playing each other in the mixed doubles gold medal match. Ball called out.
Yeah, line judge calling that one out.
So pushed on to their second serve are Nunnery and Daescu. So
You can't call it.
Daescu asking for some clarity, and Andre Mick joking, yeah, we were also going to call it out. But here on Championship Sunday, it's not up to the players. It is up to our referees to make the calls of what ball is in and what ball is out. So, back in action. Andre Daescu with the serve. Is it squeaky?
Little high pitch there coming from the court, Mike.
That's such a good spot right there from Andre Mick with that flick right at the right hip of Rob Nunnery.
If he takes those balls early and he is reaching in and putting the pressure on there, it's dangerous for Andre Mick. Where he gets in trouble is he lets those balls get a little too deep. It gets him on the hip or into the armpits, and then he's makes it very difficult for him to speed a ball up.
Daescu reaching in there for the forehand, but Mick ready for it. Gets a little love off the tape. Daescu not able to recover.
One guy that hates let cords more than anybody is Andre Daescu. He hates let cords.
It's like he takes them so personally.
It is, because it's like, if you beat me straight up, props to you. But if you have to use a net cord to beat me, you didn't beat me.
I mean, have to use feels like a bit of a dramatic phrasing, because it's not like anybody just is like, oh, I know, at this point I'm going to use the net cord.
A nice shake and bake right there from Nunnery and Daescu. Oh, and right there, a little miscommunication, which is a rarity between Nunnery and Daescu. Daescu pulled that ball almost off of Nunnery's paddle.
And immediately looked at Nunnery and said, oh, that should have been yours.
I'm not too sure if that ball's going to stay in there from Nunnery. He was crashing so hard, but Klinger getting on top of that one a little too much, pushing that one down into the net.
So if I'm Daescu and Nunnery, what I want to do is I want to mix up my dinks spot to spot, because both Klinger and Mick are very rhythmic players. If you put them in a rhythm and go to the same spot, they're going to be fine. Disrupt that rhythm.
Again, Klinger quickly looking back behind him to see if that ball was out, find his positioning on the court. Better ball there from Klinger, reaching in, not overhitting.
So it's going to be a side out.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Dom right there because we've both stepped on our headset cords and ripped our headphones off each other a few times.
That's a good drop right there from the youngster, CJ Klinger.
CJ Klinger, just 17 years old. His second time playing in a tournament with Andre and Mick. It's got him by a few years, 28. Coaches tennis and pickleball at Cleveland State. Ooh. Goes for the scorpion?
Yeah.
Goes for the scorpion, a little bit of pancake though also?
Half scorp.
Half scorp, we'll call it?
Yeah,
okay.
Didn't have the full, Dom's full, attack,
with
stab.
The forearm. Like a cobra.
But good ball there from Nunnery, and an excellent ball there from Daescu as well. Both of those slipping that one back behind Mick on the backhand side. This time, Mick trying to crash a little too hard middle.
Such a good spot right there from CJ Klinger. He catches Nunnery just cheating up a little bit and goes right at his feet.
5-3-2 for Nunnery's serve.
Little hesitation there from Mick. I thought that he thought that Klinger was going to take that ball with his forehand in the middle, and he didn't. And Mick was late getting there.
6-3-2. You thought that he thought that he thought that you thought?
But I didn't think.
I could make a sassy comment. I shan't.
Another good job there from Nunnery, disguising that speed up so well. All of his speed ups predominantly come from that paddle head dropping straight down, and then he can go, it's a quick flick across, it's inside out, it's straight ahead and elevated. Yeah, this is the issue with Mick and Klinger at times. Two forehands in the middle, two aggressive plays, and they're both fighting over that middle ball right there, trying to do too much.
And that's a very fired up Nunnery and Daescu after they hear the timeout called. Unbelievable.
Timeout called on the court. Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery up 8-3 here in Game 1 against Andre Mick and CJ Klinger. And in case you can't tell by our commentary, we have very little fun together as a broadcast team. Earlier today, I had to pay up a bet from St. Louis, do some push-ups on center court. It's worth noting that the camera missed the 7 and 8 push-ups that the boys had to do. 8 and 9,
actually.
8 and 9, oh yeah. And then there's this.
Oh my goodness.
I would just like you all to know this song.
Look how in rhythm we are. Did you see how rhythm we were in?
This is important. The song that was playing, all the pretty girls walk
background.
Like, and this is
background,
what was happening.
Both baseball players.
Booth.
There is the TikTok out there of the Little League player walking up to the plate with that as his walk-up song.
I'll stitch it together and tag it
and
on
the
Instagram.
catcher is there dancing in the background, just making the whole video.
So be sure to join us.
I want to meet that kid. We'll
put it out in the world. We'll put it out in the world.
That kid was a stud.
Here's a look at the Discount Tire upcoming schedule. More shenanigans from the broadcast booth and great pickleball. Guaranteed if you tune in for that.
Perfect spot from Daescu. And that's the issue for Mick there at times, too. He wants to overcommit. He wants to crash so hard back to the middle. Both Daescu and Nunnery know that they're going left shoulder on him, and Mick ends up moving into the speed up.
That ball sailing wide.
Nunnery trying to get a little slippery right down that line with a little inside-out push.
So a chance for Mick and Klinger to cut into this lead that Daescu and Nunnery have built here in Game 1 of our men's doubles gold medal match.
Hey, that little bit more unorthodox motion there from Klinger on the two-hand backhand, similar to Andre Mick. Stands up too early in that one, and Nunnery does the same thing there, trying to can't uncoil out of the stack. He stands up out of the motion. Both of those balls flattening out for either player.
Little mid-pace speed up there from CJ Klinger. Mick to back him up, and then Daescu sending it long.
Well,
sending it wide, excuse me.
I like the counter from Daescu. He got the ball fed to him on his backhand side. He went middle with the first one and then tries to go sideline with the next one, just overhits it.
So Nunnery changing up his spot on that speed up, but again, setting it up like the other ones. This time, the quick flick into the left shoulder of Klinger, and he's a little late catching that one. Rushed it.
Just a little bit. So sets up a game point opportunity here. Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery can take Game 1 with this serve. And they get the better end of that firefight. Andre Mick leaving the backhand dink just a little short, hits the Sketcher sign. So Game 1 goes to Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery here in Philadelphia. Our men's doubles gold medal match continues when we come back.
Retirement. It's not all one big vacation. It's great to find purpose by trying a new activity. Keep an active social life, but don't forget to make new friends too. As always, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Ah, isn't it wonderful to be retired?
We've got a rematch on our hands from the APP stop in St. Louis just a few weeks ago. Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery trying to get some revenge here on Andre Mick and CJ Klinger. The matchup is the same, but the situation a bit different because this time it was Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery coming through the winner's bracket. And so with them taking game one, if they win game two, they will be your men's doubles gold medalists. CJ Klinger and Andre Mick have to win best 2 out of 3 games to 11 and then go on to win a championship tiebreaker game to 15, double dipping Daescu and Nunnery if they want to take home the gold here from Philadelphia. Klinger and Mick off to a strong start. 1 point on the board here on their first serve.
Good control put away right there from Andre Mick. He could easily overhit that, but a nice bounce back here early on for Klinger and Mick, and a good start to game two.
Great start to game two for Klinger and Mick. CJ Klinger, just 17 years old, out of Estero, Florida.
That one just a little deep. Rushed that one from Klinger.
So it'll be a side out, Daescu and Nunnery with their first serve here. 0-2-1.
Yeah, again, fighting over that middle ball, Klinger and Mick. In that one right there, Mick is the stationary player up at the kitchen line. He needs to take that one. Klinger stays out of the way. Now it would switch.
Wow, swinging backhand right there, and Daescu trying to chest bump Nunnery, but Nunnery giving him the shoulder. Almost knocked him over, though.
Mick visibly frustrated right now. He's not hitting these balls cleanly. He's a little late. Most of it coming down to paddle positioning and where he's sitting at. Yeah, again right there. So he's sitting there and he's reading the forehand, but what is happening? Oh, he might get cold. That's the paddle throw for Andre Mick. But you see the body break down as he goes to hit that forehand. The left shoulder drops, it spins the body off, and he spins off of that ball. He's not hitting cleanly.
Andre Mick has earned a reputation of throwing his paddle with his partner, CJ Klinger, to the point where these two, their second tournament playing together, but they've been playing together recreationally.
The paddle's coming right into the living room right now.
About 3 years. CJ saying he's just been waiting for Andre to get good enough to play with him on the APP tour. But throughout that friendship, Andre Mick, like I mentioned, has thrown his paddle a time or two, one time throwing it across multiple courts, according to legend at this point. And so this is what CJ Klinger gifted him. It is a boomerang with some paddle tape on it because CJ said this way, your paddle always comes back to you. Andre Mick, a native of Melbourne, Australia. So tying in his roots there, and that paddle, not the boomerang one, so he had to go get it where it landed as opposed to it coming back to him. Nunnery with the serve here. 4-2-1.
Ooh, and off his hip and then the paddle. So nice spot there from Daescu going backside left hip of Andre Mick.
5-2-1 for Nunnery.
That's a better job there from Mick. Doesn't break down with the left side like he has been on that forehand. Still slips it a little bit outside Daescu. But a much better adjustment there.
Daescu going, it's my man right there. Talking to Rob Nunnery.
6-2-2 for Daescu's serve.
Oh, there it is. There it
That's
is.
a chest bump.
But Daescu had to tell him, Rob, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Rob,
Hey,
I'm coming.
Tap, tap, tap.
Turn,
tap,
turn,
tap.
turn, turn, turn. Turn, give me the chest.
You know, they've been working on dialing the other parts of their game, not the chest bump celebration. That's next.
You know, Nunnery has to be careful if he's not ready for the chest bump because he'll get the chest right into the forehead.
Yeah.
Daescu, one of the taller pros we have here on the APP Tour. His dad played for the Romanian national basketball team, says that's where he gets a lot of his height from. Still gets a text from his dad, talks with him before every match to wish him luck.
That's so good. That's an off-paced flick right there. If he goes full on and goes at Rob's body, Rob's going to get that back. But because he just rolls that at his shins, it's a perfectly placed ball.
Sheesh. what a
Nunnery
point.
getting a little too big there on the forehand. He was ready to destroy that ball after he missed it into the net. But good hands from Klinger and Mick. Klinger just a little late catching up to that one.
So it'll be a second serve here.
4-7-2.
Andre Mick with the serve. 4-7-2.
Oh, yeah.
Mick apologizing, sort of, for the placement of that ball because it was perfect down the sideline. Look at this. Whew.
Daescu jumped to the middle and then just goes completely backside, does Andre Mick.
That was a sorry, not really.
Sorry, not sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, just wearing them out right there is Nunnery and Daescu. And again, the longer that point goes, the longer the advantage to Daescu and Nunnery. Like to see either Mick or Klinger try and speed something up, maybe at about 60, 70%, and get another ball off of that.
Another carefully constructed point. Klinger with the speed up and then gets Daescu backhand straight into the net. Dom, you said that the longer those points goes on, the more the advantage goes to Daescu and Nunnery. Why is that?
Well, because they're willing to play a little more patient, a little longer. Yeah! And right on cue, Daescu just comes in swinging right there at the backhand.
So the point goes to Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery. 8-5. 8-5-2. Second server for Nunnery and Daescu.
Ooh, around the post.
Klinger well defended.
Coming back in from Daescu. You know, a little bit of help from the net cord here with the around the post. Good defense from Klinger, but Daescu stepping back in the court, getting that overhead finish.
Nice finish by CJ Klinger. Watch him dip this front shoulder, get on top of the ball, and get it right past the feet of Rob Nunnery.
So it'll be a side out. Ball back on the side of Andre Mick and CJ Klinger. Daescu's return, sailing just a few inches long.
I like it here. It's 1 point. Kind of went awry. Here's the thing, is Daescu hits that ball, goes long. Prior to the point, Nunnery had an issue with grip on his paddle. He's trying to dry his hands. And right after that, Nunnery looks at Daescu, go timeout, and they're like, yeah, let's just regroup, get a timeout for only giving up 1 point.
Oftentimes, you guys say that's a really important decision to make as a duo is how much of a run do you allow before you call that timeout. So much of it being situational, and that a situation where, like you said, Rob Nunnery put his hands on the hot court here in Philadelphia to try and dry them off, get a little bit of grip on his paddle, and then Daescu misses the return. And so a timeout called with a 3-point lead. The crowd enjoying the great pickleball that we have brought to you today on Championship Sunday here on the APP Tour. You're watching the pickleballsuperstore.com Philadelphia Open. It has been, for as much as we complain about the weather sometimes, I do feel we should give it its credit. It hasn't been terrible today.
Today's been a nice.
Today's been
It's
all
been
right.
pretty nice.
Yesterday was pretty nice, too.
Yeah. So it really just was terrible when we weren't broadcasting. So no one believes us.
Thursday and Friday, it was a deluge of rain.
Yeah, it was a bit brutal. The 17-year-old backing up Daescu and Nunnery.
Wow. Daescu had an opportunity there, but goes a little wide. Great defense from Daescu and Nunnery, but too much CJ Klinger through that point.
Nunnery bringing the fire here on championship court. Puts Mick and Klinger onto their second serve. 7-9-2.
Oh, that ball sitting on the paddle there for Rob Nunnery and just trying to get a little too fine with it down the line as you're going to see it go just wide.
CJ Klinger with an opportunity to tie things up here.
Oh, just pushes it wide. Daescu looking up at both Joanna Corker and the line judge being like, that ball's out. Somebody call it.
Somebody.
Just missing. Ever so close, though. And good hands from Daescu there. Klinger tried to put the pressure on, but Daescu stayed short and compact.
And so now
Mick just pushed it wide, sorry.
It's okay. Championship point opportunity for Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery. They nailed the point and the chest bumps. So they are your men's doubles gold medalists here at the APPPickleballSuperstore.com Philadelphia Open. We will hear from them and Andre, Mick, and CJ Klinger when we come back.
Need to sell tickets for an event? From Sports Illustrated's official ticketing platform, introducing Box Office. Manage ticketing for sports, festivals, fundraisers, and more, paid or free. And we go beyond the barcode. Introducing Super Ticket. Super Tickets are secured by blockchain technology and transform into exclusive digital content, promotions, and rewards between the event and guests. Cheaper, better, simpler, more secure. Sports Illustrated Tickets. Partner with us for your next event.
The APP is presented by AARP, Volpe, AMN Healthcare, and PowerPlate.
Back here in Philadelphia, we have the Boca Raton Championship point, Chad. Winners for Daescu and Nunnery.
Well, that was the pre-championship point, but the championship point coming there. Daescu stepping in, putting the pressure on, and an outstanding performance by Andre Daescu and Rob Nunnery. And AJ McCord is courtside with all four players.
Welcome down to championship court. It's time now for our gold medal match interview powered by Franklin. We are going to get to Rob Nunnery and Andre Daescu, our gold medalists, in just a minute. But first, back-to-back weeks that we have gotten to see Andre, Mick, and CJ Klinger here on championship court in the men's doubles gold medal match. Andre, I know it took a while for CJ to believe in you enough to play with you, but at this point, what have you liked about playing with CJ?
I mean, he's just an absolute beast, and he's only getting better. He's so young, so it's just great to play with someone with so much energy, and it's fun.
A lot of energy that both of you brought to the court today. CJ, what do you think is the biggest difference between your guys' game in St. Louis and then the one that you played today?
They played well all week. And just a little bit of a slow start.
Fair enough. A little bit of a slow start, but it has been so fun to watch you two the last 2 APP Tour stops. So congratulations to our silver medalists here in Philadelphia, Andre Mick and CJ Klinger. Give it up for them. And now let's get to our gold medalists, men's doubles champions yet again, Andre Daescu, Rob Nunnery. You guys had to fight your way through the consolation bracket in St. Louis. Here in Philadelphia, not the case. What did you make sure you dialed in so that you could stay on that winner's side of the bracket?
Look, we just want to dink.
Okay, sounds good.
Just here to dink. We want to dink. We want to hit drops. We want to dink a lot.
Well, I mean, the game strategy worked. Wait, I'm sorry. Can you say it one more time?
I do not second that. That's Rob on his own there.
So Rob's on his island with just wanting to dink. Andre, for you, though, the gold medal, winning it with Rob again, what does that mean?
Oh, it means a lot to me. I always enjoy playing with Rob. Obviously, we had a very challenging weekend 2 weeks ago in St. Louis, but he battled. You know, he showed a lot of character, and yeah, we're both feeling a little bit better this weekend, and we're playing much better. And just super happy to be able to bounce back and get the gold again and just go back to playing our best, you know.
There are so many parts of your games that just seem so dialed. I have to be honest. The chest bump celebration, not quite there. What are you going to do to practice between now and Chicago?
I would say I disagree. Every time our chests touch, it's magical, and we will continue to touch chests as long as we play together.
I cannot wait to see this interview later on. Andre, what do you guys think you're going to work on between now and Chicago?
Just try to stay in rhythm. There's obviously only 1 week in between tournaments. Definitely we're not going to work on the chest bump off the court, that's for sure. But on a more serious note, I just wanted to thank all the people that came out to watch today and throughout the weekend. I wanted to thank all the volunteers for all the long hours they put in. Friday, obviously with the rain and all that, we had a 14, 15-hour day. So just want to thank all the APP staff and everyone here in Philadelphia for the opportunity to be playing here. It was a great weekend for us, and we're looking forward to Chicago.
Congratulations to our men's doubles gold medalists, Rob Nunnery, Andre Daescu. Ken, let's go ahead and get these guys their hardware.
Well, you heard it from Rob Nunnery first. It's all about the dink.
Yeah, he made a post. He made a post earlier today, and he said, "I'm just here to dink." And you know what? He did that all day and all weekend long, pretty much better than anybody.